Liam, although we were 4 men down, experienced players, we did have back four we would have chosen. We had our goalkeeper. It also has to be said that Wales gave debuts to 4 players, one of them a teenager, Ampadu, in midfield, who's outstanding, and who could have actually qualified for us because his father played underage for Ireland. But just to go back before we get on to that, to the performance itself, Liam.
Well, as John described, it wasn't. It was pretty awful, to be quite honest. We were never in the game. We never created any chances until we got a consolation goal at the end. It was far too easy for Wales to open us up. And I watched Wales last night play Denmark, and they had it the other way. You know, Denmark dominated them, so makes you think, you know, what's going to be like if we don't have these players when we come up against Denmark next month? Could it be that we get beat another 5 again? You know, so it was a very, very poor performance. But you know, without the players that we're missing, you know, we're not really a team that can compete at international level, Eamon. We've had a problem down through the years, even beginning with when Trapattoni got a hold of the team or became manager. The likes of Robbie Keane, Richard Dunn, Damien Duff, all these lads were getting on a bit, and Trapp used them for the final years, you know.
Yeah.
We got another 2 years out of them, and then Martin had to come in and probably had to do without them. Richard Dunn retired. Robbie went on, but he wasn't quite the same player. Damien retired. And the worrying thing, and I suppose we're going to touch upon this, you mentioned about young Ethan Ampadu, is that we don't seem to have quality players coming through that Martin O'Neill can blood and bring on. The way Mick McCarthy did with Keane, Robbie Keane, Damien Duff and Richard Dunn, John O'Shea, all these guys, Mick McCarthy, had real quality coming through. To be fair to Martin O'Neill, he just hasn't got that, and that's one of the biggest worries about this defeat. It really has exposed the fact that the development of homegrown players has almost disappeared. You know, I was looking at the squad this morning, or the team likely to play, and it's more or less a team that you're picking from the Championship or the lower leagues.
Yeah.
Now, you go back to John's time as manager of the Irish team. He gave me my debut. He gave Frank Stapleton a debut. He gave Dave O'Leary a debut. He gave Mark Lawrence a debut. You know, all of us became really good players at a high level of football, you know.
Yeah.
But to be fair to Martin O'Neill, he just hasn't got that option, and that's the worry. And you know, going back to conversations the three of us have had, you know, this has been sticking out for the last 4 or 5 years, that the conveyor belt of players, particularly from home, from not say English born players with Irish parents or Irish grandparents. I'm talking about lads coming from Dublin, coming from Cork, coming from other parts of the country, just not there anymore, and that's really scary. So we're going into a match against Poland now tomorrow, and I think we're struggling to put a team out that can compete.
Yeah.